Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys our story. So our story actually starts off when I was 12 years old. Now I grew up really into the music scene, wanted to be in the music business, so I was always at concerts and doing different things in the music industry. And my mom and I went up to Tampa for a concert, and we arrive at the arena and there is no one to be found, and we're like, oh my goodness, we like drive to the wrong arena. Did they change it and not post it online? We were trying to figure out what in the world was going on here. We finally see somebody walk by, and it's this one guy all by himself, and he's walking, and we ask him, excuse me, do you know if we're at the right arena? Is there a concert here tonight? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, all these doors are closed. My wife is actually sitting on the other side of the arena with a couple people, and everybody's waiting in line over there. So he offers to take us over there, and we walk with him. We end up meeting his wife, and we're talking to them, and we find out that we're gonna be on the same cruise a couple weeks later. So we keep in touch with them, we hang out with them on the cruise. Fast forward a few years later, so another concert comes up in Tampa, and I'm 16 years old at the time, and we go to the concert. We meet up with the couple, Matt and Mitzi, and they had brought like a group of young adults. I was there and some friends were there, and my mom. And in the group of young adults, Paul was one of them, and he's kind of shy in bigger groups, so we didn't really talk too much, but the whole group of us kind of exchanged Facebook. And his birthday or my birthday rolled around, and one of us messaged each other, hey, happy birthday, and then the other one's like, oh, well, happy birthday to you too, because we don't remember who initiated the conversation. We can't find it on Facebook, but anyways, so one of us realized, oh, tomorrow's the other person's birthday, or however it played out, because my birthday is March 25th and his birthday is March 24th. So we messaged each other, oh, happy birthday. He's not really a social media guy in general. So we had that one conversation, never heard from him, like never saw anything on Facebook. Again, that next January, the same concert rolls around. We meet up with Matt and Mitzi, and their group had kind of fallen apart, so it was just Matt and Mitzi and Paul. And it was myself, my mom, and a couple friends, which my friends kind of did their own thing. So Paul and I were able to talk this time, and we really hit it off, and we ended up going out to dinner with the group of us after the concert and everything. And since it was in Tampa, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, so it's about a 4-hour drive. So we leave the concert, I don't know, like midnight or 1 in the morning or something, and I get home, and literally like as soon as I put my bags down and I sit on the couch, I hear my phone go off. And I'm thinking, who in the world is texting me at like 4 or 5 in the morning? Sure enough, it's Paul, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to make sure you got home safe, and short little conversation, and then we both obviously go to bed. I didn't hear from him for like a week, and he texted me, and we ended up keeping in touch. We would text every few days or whatever. That went on for a couple weeks. And then I actually had the same friends from the concert come down, and we were playing music together at the time and going to a concert. And I was telling him about it, and he said, oh, I play the bass. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, that's cool. You know, next time we get together, you'll have to come down. He said, well, I don't want to invite myself. And I was like, well, you have an open invitation. So he texts me, and he's like, well, can I come down a week from now? And I looked at my calendar, I was like, yeah. I was like, sure. And then I realized it's Valentine's Day. And I'm thinking to myself, does he realize that it's Valentine's Day? Like, he's coming to see me on Valentine's Day. I mean, we just continuously hit it off that weekend, and we made it official that we wanted to date. So I was still in college at the time, he was still in college, and May of 2015 he graduated, and a few days after he graduated, he packed up all his stuff and moved down to Fort Lauderdale. And then I graduated a month later in June. And since our first date was Valentine's Day, February 14th, he wanted to propose June 14th because he wanted to propose after I had graduated college. And he said, you know, I want to take you out to celebrate for your graduation. Well, I woke up feeling just awful. My stomach was hurting. And he actually had this whole day planned. He was taking me to the spa. He was taking me like on this little day cruise, taking me to get a mani-pedi. Like, he had everything planned out. Oh, he had a brunch planned, and he's like, do you want to go out and do what I had planned, or are you really not feeling up to it? And I was like, well, let me just lay here for a couple hours and see if it goes away. So he goes out to get medicine with my mom, and then later I found out that getting medicine was going to the beach to check on how the whole setup for the proposal was going. A few hours later, he ends up asking me, hey, do you want to go get your nails done? He's like, that's really easy, you know, you don't have to walk around, you just sit there. Like, if you're really not feeling up to it, let me know, but if you want to, he's like, I'd really like to take you to at least do something. So I'm like, okay. So I just get my fingernails done, and then after that, I go back to the house, I lay down a little bit, then he goes back out to get me medicine again. He's like calling around trying to rearrange all the reservations and seeing if he can use the tickets for the day cruise a different day. And so he's like scrambling, trying to figure out, okay, what in the world am I gonna do here? He asked me again, he's like, I'd really like to take you out. He said, are you feeling okay to go out? He's like, if you're really feeling absolutely awful, he's like, let's do it another night. He was really stressing if I wasn't gonna enjoy it to save it for another day. And I was like, no, I think I'll be okay. So he picks out 2 dresses, and I pick a dress, and then I'm trying to find shoes. I have this gorgeous dress, and I can't find anything to go with it because I didn't want to wear heels because I wasn't feeling so great. So I'm like trying to go through all my flats. I'm like, this doesn't look good, this doesn't look good. And he's like, just pick the flip-flops. And I'm like, that's gonna look ridiculous with the dress. He's like, just put on the flip-flops, let's go. So I put on the flip-flops, we get in the car, and we are driving, and I have no idea where we're going. And we pull into the parking lot at the beach, Dania Beach. I'm like, okay, well that's why the flip-flops with the fancy dress, because he wants to go to the beach. So we walk up to the beach, and I see this beautiful setup, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so gorgeous. And I had no clue that it was for us, and then we like start approaching it, and I'm like, oh, maybe that is for us. And he had these lanterns with candles in them in the shape of a heart. He had the tulle in the shape of a heart, and there were LED lights inside the tulle lighting up the tulle. And then as we got closer, I realized our names were written in rope, and he had a lit up glass skull and an anchor and a starfish, and he had a pathway from the beginning of the beach up to the heart, a pathway of rose petals, and it was just so, so gorgeous. And so we go into the little heart, and he has a column there, and then at the top of the column there's a bouquet of flowers. So he hands me the flowers, and he gives me this sweet little speech, and then he reaches into the column that the flower bouquet was under, and he pulls out a ring box and gets down on one knee and proposes and asks me to be his wife. And of course I said yes. Let's see, we ended up getting married the following March, so we were engaged for 9 months, and then we got married in March 2015. We got married March 24th at midnight, so we got married in between our 2 birthdays. Ever since then, it's been awesome. I couldn't imagine life without him. He is so, so sweet. He's so good to me. He spoils me. It amazes me that someone could love me as much as he does. So that was the story of us, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about me and about us. And if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And let me know what other stories you guys would like to hear. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more story times. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.